YouTube, what is up? Y'all already know who it is, man. It's DTV, and I'm back with another banger. In today, we got top 10 unsettling signals from parallel universes that no humans can solve. That sounds wild, don't it? Y'all ready for this one? Let's run it, baby. Let's get it. Let's go.
More and more evidence is emerging that parallel universes exist. Today, we'll be looking at some of this evidence, from deja vu to visions saving people's lives to
Deja vu? I'm glad. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad, because deja vu is wild, bro. Deja vu is wild, but I don't know when they're going to touch on that in this video, and when they touch on that, then I'll talk about deja vu. All right, let's get it.
at some of this evidence, from deja vu to visions saving people's lives to people seeing themselves in a different universe. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the warning. This individual actually received a signal from his parallel universe self, and had he not, he might have actually died. So the narrator, who wants to remain anonymous, let's call him Robbie, was out walking one day when he saw a version of himself across the street. At first, he thought he was just seeing things, but surely right across the street was himself, just staring at him. He was dressed in identical clothing and everything. Robbie stopped and stared at him when all of a sudden his twin yelled out, "Run!" At that moment, a car came hurtling towards Robbie's twin. He saw himself get hit by the car, so he turned and he ran. And it's a good thing that he did, because seconds later, that same car came hurtling towards him. He looked back and Robbie in the car that hit him was gone, but there was a real accident that occurred right in front of his eyes. Had he not run, he would have been hit and killed. So he believes that his parallel universe self saved himself from dying. In our 9th spot,
Yo, that's crazy. That almost sounds like I don't know if y'all ever watched the show That's So Raven, where she would have like moments where she would see into the future and she would see things play out. So she would be able to avoid whatever situation or give somebody a warning of what was gonna happen or change her behavior to not get to whatever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know how something like that would work out. Imagine some parallel universe stuff, or imagine like an outer body experience kind of situation where he saw himself and he saw everything play out and he was able to warn himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily a parallel universe experience, but I don't know. That's wild, bro. That's wild. Let's keep going. This is interesting.
so he believes that his parallel universe self saved himself from dying. In our 9th spot today, we have the reverse signals. In 2016 and in 2018, scientists in Antarctica discovered radio pulses being emitted from the ground. The radio pulses detected high-energy neutrinos and were discovered by the Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, otherwise known as ANITA. But here's the weird thing. The signals were coming up out of the Earth and heading towards the sky. Since the signals were coming up from the Earth instead of down from space, people believe that they may be traveling back in time and therefore from a parallel universe. For this universe, the Big Bang represents the end and not the beginning. Coming in at number 8, we have...
Yeah, that's wild, bro. I want to watch that segment again. Hold on. Not that segment, but that story. Hold on.
Our 9th spot today, we have the reverse signals. In 2016 and in 2018, scientists in Antarctica discovered radio pulses being emitted from the ground. The radio pulses detected high-energy neutrinos and were discovered by the Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, otherwise known as ANITA. But here's the weird thing. The signals were coming up out of the Earth and heading towards the sky. Since the signals were coming up from the Earth instead of down from space, people believe that they may be traveling back in time and therefore from a parallel universe. For this universe, the Big Bang represents the end and not the beginning. Coming in at number 8, we have Uranus.
Yo, that's wild, bro. That's wild. Another thing too, right? Nobody's really allowed, you know what I'm saying, to go to Antarctica unless you have the clearance to do so. You know what I mean? Bro, we don't know what's going on out there. It can be so many different things. And I'm not gonna speculate, you know what I'm saying? Do your own research about Antarctica, because there's a lot of wild information out there, man. Is it true? Is it false? Who knows? I'm not in the situation to be able to prove it nor deny it. You know what I'm saying? All I do is like take in the information and just read different theories. You know what I'm saying? But there's in regards to like the signals coming from inside the earth out, there's also a hollow earth theory. I don't know if y'all heard about that. I'm not gonna touch much on it because I don't know too much about it. I've just ran across it, you know, while reading different articles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Look up Andrew Bird and Antarctica. That'll be an interesting find for you. But let's keep going.
This universe, the Big Bang represents the end and not the beginning. Coming in at number 8, we have Euronymous. This story really freaking gives me the creeps. Basically, a Norwegian black metal fan believes that he's stuck in the wrong universe. So the story was posted by I Love Transylvania on Reddit. They asked for help and advice. It all started when he woke up and found out that his favorite musician, Euronymous, had died. But not recently. He died in 1993. Immediately, he thought that this was some kind of joke because just recently he had seen him in concert. The year he saw him was 2013, which is 20 years after his death, which is physically impossible.
What the heck?
Not only that, but in the early 2000s, he bumped into him in a shop and even bought a record from him there. Not only that, but he can't seem to get in contact with any of his friends. He tries calling and texting, but their numbers are all out of service. So this guy either thinks he's going insane or he somehow got transported to another universe, our current one, in which Euronymous passed away in 1993. In our
or he's on something. You know what I'm saying? But is there proof about him meeting up with what was dude's name? Euronymous? Is there proof? Are there pictures? You know what I'm saying? Is there any type of evidence that'll show that he did in fact link up and go to a concert? You know what I'm saying? Like, where the stubs at? Did you take pictures at the concert? If you bought your tickets online, where's the email verifying that you went? You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be an email, thanks for your purchase, yada yada yada. Bro, I don't know. I might have to look into all of these different stories. You know what I'm saying? We'll call them stories. And see what's out there in regards to them. But let's keep going. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
7th spot today, we have the Man From Torrid. Now, this might be a perfect example of some accidental dimension jumping. Now, you might be sick of hearing me talk about this story, but it literally blows my mind. It's one of my favorite stories, so I'm sharing it again. For those of you who don't know,
I've heard about this one before, but I don't think there's any like solid proof of it ever happening.
in July of 1954, a well-dressed man arrived at the Haneda airport in Tokyo, Japan. When he was questioned at customs, he said he was from a place called Torrid. However, as we know, Torrid is not a real place. So immediately the officers were like, red flag, detain him. Later, he was placed in a hotel.
She said, red flag, detain him.
Immediately, the officer called Torrid. However, as we know, Torrid is not a real place. So immediately the officers were like, red flag, detain him. Later, he was placed in a hotel and was monitored by 2 guards. In the hotel, his room was placed high up and there was only one entry and exit point. Yet he still managed to escape. How he managed to escape is physically impossible. So, some people think that Torrid is a real place, but it's located in a different universe. And this man somehow
Isn't that the logo to a gas station? I feel like I've seen that logo before.
passed through a parallel dimension and ended up at the airport. Others think that it's all just a made-up legend. If so, then why did the story get international news and wind up in the papers? I don't know, it's up to you.
Did it wind up in the papers? Let me know in the comments if you know. I'm not, like, I've heard about this, but I never looked into this one. You know what I'm saying? To see how it all played out and what kind of like promo we got. Was it on the news? Was it in newspapers? Was it on the radio? You know what I'm saying? Or was it just made up? You feel me? That's another thing. Let's get it.
Believe whatever, but I think it's freaking creepy. Coming in at number 6,
Definitely
we have
creepy.
the parallel drivers. You're about to notice a trend here. A number of parallel universe stories feature cars and car accidents. It's quite weird, like this one. So this next guy was visiting his grandparents when he was almost hit by a car. So he was in a car park when a car nearly hit him and another car. As the car passed him, he got a look at the passengers. And that's when he knew that something was very off. In the car, there were 3 passengers, a woman, her daughter, and a male driver. What was weird is that they were all staring, looking forward, with no emotion on their face whatsoever. It looked as if they were all just zoned out or in another world, maybe quite literally. As the car continued driving by, he realized that it was his family's car. Freaking out, thinking that their car had been stolen, he ran to his family, only to find the car parked in the grandparents' driveway. Now, I don't have an explanation for this one. I really don't.
That's
but
weird.
It seems like the people in that car were from another dimension and were unaware that they were appearing elsewhere. Seems like the 2 universes might have merged for that second. We're now at our 5th and halfway
Sounds like some glitch in the Matrix type of, you know what I'm saying, type of situation, bro.
mark with deja vu. After all
Let's
this
get
time,
it.
scientists don't have a clear explanation for deja vu. They believe that everyday deja vu experiences might be linked to the memories in our temporal area, but they have yet to prove this or come up with any other explanations. Others believe that deja vu occurs when different universes are in sync for a short period of time. For example, maybe in one universe you picked up a bottle of wine to pour yourself a glass, but maybe a different version of yourself in another universe picked up a beer. This happened at the same time, so you're in sync for that moment. And that's when you get that feeling, like, didn't I just do this? It's because your other self did something similar. Coming in at number 4,
Yo, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense, because I was literally gonna explain what I thought deja vu was, and it was literally gonna be like that, where yourself in different realities did similar if not the same thing at the same time, and that's why it felt like, yo, didn't I do this already? Didn't I just do this? Like, every time that happens, bro, it trips me out so much. I think we need to look into deja vu more, man, because I feel like there's something there that hasn't been discovered yet. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's keep going.
we have precognitive dreams. Precognitive dreams are dreams that can predict the future, or they can provide you with information that you wouldn't have otherwise known. There are a number of people that have had this happen to them, including myself. I've had dreams and then the next day it's come true, and there's no possible way for me to have known that this was going to happen. In fact, we have a whole series on dreams that have predicted the future, so if you want, check that out as well. Anyways, one theory is that these dreams are signals from your other self in a different universe. Maybe something is about to happen in your life and has already happened in their life. Or they're sending you a signal in your sleep to warn you about upcoming dangers.
But if that's the case, right? How are they able to do that? Or how are we able to do that, right? Because essentially it's us, right? How are we able to do that, but we're not able to do that in that direction? Like, we're able to do that for, all right, I'm gonna have to say they're able to do that for us, right? But how come we're not able to do that for them, like, to help them out? You know what I'm saying?
Moving on to number 3, we have the change of route. A couple of years ago, the next narrator was walking to work one day when they all of a sudden had an urge to take a different path. Every day, they took the same route, but today, they decided to go down a different way. So they turned and went down an alley. Now, I mean, any normal person would be like, no, don't go down that creepy dark alley, you're gonna get mugged or killed. But something was telling this guy that he needed to go down that way. So he did, and that's when he zoned out. He said that his mind went scrambled. He also said, and I quote, "I felt like I didn't have a body anymore, just that I was a semi-conscious entity floating through some weird dimension. All of a sudden, in the array of different colors and shapes, a vision came to me. It was a bunch of strange-looking people that in my mind resembled businessmen in suits. They looked startled and panicked that I could see them. One of the people made a quick movement and everything turned black. Then when he snapped out of this, he found himself on a completely different street. back on his way to work. I don't have an explanation for this. Honestly,
Yeah,
it seems like for a split second he was looking into another universe or something though. In our second spot, we have the close call. Several years ago, this guy worked at Little Caesars Pizza. He worked as one of those sign spinners, you know, to get people into the store. One day, while sign spinning, he saw a van heading straight at him. It drove over the curb and hit him directly. He felt it crush him against the street post. Then everything turned black. But all of a sudden, he gasped and he was awake and still alive. He's still on the corner and he's still holding his sign. No car was there, he was alive. Since he was shaken from the experience, he decided to go inside the store for his break. As he walked away, he heard a loud crash. As he turned around, he saw the same van crash into the street post where he had been standing.
Yo, that's similar to one of the first stories where dude saw himself across the street and was able to give himself a warning and not get hit by a car, even though he watched himself get hit with a car. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's crazy.
So maybe in another universe, he died from that car crash. In this universe, he survived. And
now that might be some powerful, like super duper powerful intuition. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like how you're able to like sense people or you have a bad feeling about something or you're not really rocking with somebody's energy or somebody's vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's that, but times 1,000. You feel me? I don't know. I'm just saying.
And in our number one spot today, we have the portal. There's a cabin in the Marcahuasi Stone Forest in Peru that apparently is a ticket to another dimension. This story was told by a woman who one day was out camping in the forest with her friends. That's when they heard music coming from another area in the forest, so they decided to follow the sound and check it out. Then they came across a small stone cabin. It was illuminated by torches. What was weird is that they could see in through the windows and the people inside were wearing 17th century fashion. The women, being curious, decided to go check it out. In fact, one of the friends was a little too curious and she tried entering the cabin. She stepped foot inside when her friend pulled her away. Instantly, half of her body became paralyzed. It was the half that entered the cabin.
Yo!
To this day, she still remains paralyzed on that side of her body. So it's believed that this cabin would have taken them to another dimension. Since half of her body entered another dimension and then was yanked out, it threw off her nervous system, resulting in her partial paralysis. All right, guys, that's all for today's video.
Is there any proof of that one? Because, yo, like, if you're going to paralyze me for pulling me out, just throw my whole body in there so I can go all the way through and be normal on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you believe in alternate dimensions and universes? Let me know. And now let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video top 10 scary secrets people took to the grave. Leah.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, I really dug this video, man. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, before I was about to wrap it up, but let me see what this is about actually.
Anne commented, nothing is worse than a secret we'll never know. Oh, I know that feeling. There's so many things that I want to know that I don't have the answers to, and I'm like, come on, people. Ladybug Cat Noir commented, I love the vids when she does. Okay, cool. I thought it was gonna be deeper than that. But yo, sound off in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see more of this type of content on the channel, man. And I'd be more than happy to jump on it, man, because this was dope. I'm not gonna lie. This was definitely great. This was different. You know what I'm saying? I've never done anything like this before. And it was very, very entertaining. But anyways, I'm going to end this video right here. If you made it to the very end, you're the real MVP, baby. No cap. If you enjoyed this video, y'all know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, gang. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.